All right, welcome to the Onward Rookie Boot Camp. One of my boot camps for everything. Looks like Vivian now has a stock, which is awesome. So today I'm going to talk about Tandems, which is probably the most advanced boot camp I've done before. The idea behind Tandems is there is three types of sort of play in the game. One is run and gun. You run around, you shoot everyone. You don't have any organization. Some teams play like that, but they don't get very far. The second time of it is that you have very structured plays. So, for example, I'm going to go around this corner and deal with this person here, and then two other people are going to come around this corner and shoot this guy here, and then come around here and shoot that guy. And those tend to work quite well, but the problem is that at some point, one of the persons is going to die, and then unless you don't have some improvisation skill, sometimes it usually falls apart if you start losing guys. Or gals, in the sake of the Kiletos. The third type is Tandems, which I started playing with my buddy a while ago. And Tandems are designed around having, you can have three people, but usually it's one person leading. So for example, I would be in the front pushing forward, and the second person is behind, following up the rear. Now the idea behind the Tandems is that you are going to have a certain offensive strategy. So we'll do an example here. What's a good example here? Okay, yeah, here we go. So Volky, if you want to come over here. So she's right there defending, and we've got two people coming up on her. Now the idea behind this is that we're trying to get in and take this person out, because she might be the last person, or she might be just hiding there. And if you have one person come in and try and kill her one at a time, there's a high chance she's going to get you. But if you have one person run in, or if you have two people hit this specific defensive spot at the same time, there's a higher chance that one of you is going to get them killed. And then as soon as that happens, then we have this whole avenue to move in on. The issue with this level is that it's quite small, so usually the Tandems work a little bit differently here, but the idea is that you have a specific point that you're attacking, and you're trying to get through that area so that you can have all of your people flood in. Let me check my notes, see if I've got everything.
Wow, he got notes.
Oh yeah. So the one thing is that, except on this level, because everyone spawns at the same spot, on other levels you'll spawn at various areas across the map. So the idea is that Volk have to set up a very generic defense where only certain people can be certain spots, or they're basically watching all of the advances, whereas the Marsak come in and they can move together from whatever direction they spawn and not give out the attacks right when they spawn in. So yeah, overview is hit a defensive point hard and then flow through that gap, killing everyone. Now, the very specific things for Tandems are, we have two types of people, and I can use my new fancy hands. We got wait, hold on. Got two things. There's a leader, and actually we're going to go over here. Actually over here. There's a leader and there's a follower. So, in order not to get nuked, the leader will be in front. Now, the leader is doing a few things. One, they're setting the pace. So if you have a leader and I start running off like that, you better keep up. Because if the person behind is going too slowly and you lose, then the effectiveness of the Tandems are falling apart. They're choosing where to go. So the leader is, let's say I'm the leader, I want to go through this way. You're going to follow me because I'm the leader. I'm coming through here quickly, trying to clear out spots, getting rid of places, blah, 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 blah. And then the last thing that they're doing is they are being the assaulter. So the leader is usually someone that's got a very good fast snapshot and knows the levels quite well, so that they can get into to areas and know that if I'm coming around this corner, I usually don't have to worry about right here, but I do have to worry about underneath that space. And then when I come around this corner, I got to watch this lane. So the assaulter is the person that's coming in really quickly and shooting really fast. So the next person, number two, is the follower. The follower is a little bit less glamorous, but they usually survive longer. So if you like playing the game longer, that's awesome. Let's just do an example of a follower here. So the follower, similar to the leader, is keeping up with the pace. So if the leader, you just run over there, you just run wherever you're going. Yeah. So if you're running, I'm staying behind, and what I'm doing is I'm watching his head to see where he's going and looking the other way. So you can stop now. So that is one of the things that you have to do. You're providing suppression, and specifically, so for example, if the person that's assaulting looks this way, and I suddenly see someone pop out of there, I'm going to start firing at them. That gives the assaulter information that, oh, there's someone over there, I should start moving towards them and shooting them. It's also really important that you keep up with the person in the front, as I said. So if the person's moving fast, you want to move fast. If the person's moving slow, you want to move slow. And then the last thing is that the most important thing is that the follower is usually the one getting refrags. And does anyone know what a refrag is?
Is that like a tag back? Like if you got my guy, get yours?
Exactly. So Vivian comes through there, and they both trade. The person that's right behind them is going to come around that corner and shoot real quick and take that person out. Now, it sucks if you get a refrag because, you know, obviously you've lost a guy and now it's down to one person. But the issue is that kill Vivian and then they killed you. But there is a very low chance that she's going to survive compared to if you were just alone. So the trade could go off where Vivian just gets hit and has to heal, but doesn't die, and then Vivian's now killed one of your guys, and then there's no chance for her to, or for you to kill that person. Cool. Do you guys have any questions about the overview of leading and following?
Makes sense.
Cool. The next thing I'm gonna, oh yeah.
Do you do that with the full team?
You can do that with a full team, so this is just specifically with twos. Usually, like, you can have a third person in the team of three, and a third person would be a leader, a middle person who's sort of checking the sides, and then a flank protection. So the last person's mostly moving backwards and listening. If the engagement from if the two people in front of them start engaging, that person might want to turn around and see what's going on. But especially on this level where you can come up the tunnel and loop around, it's really important for that third person to be watching for the flank.
So like a normal team of 5, right?
Yeah.
For like a full match. So basically, you might have when you're attacking, one team of 2 is doing tandem up one lane, and the other 3 could be doing something else lane.
Exactly. Or you can have two teams of tandems going one way, and then the last person who likes to operate alone by himself or herself. Yeah. The best thing is to probably learn how to do tandems first, and then start adding to people once you've got a good flow down. The main thing about tandems is it does require you to really read a person's limited body language and know how they react and move before you can get really good with it. So I would suggest just starting off with 2. When you're starting out, what me and my battle buddy will do is we'll start whistling to each other, and then that's how we kind of locate each other. You can also put your hand up, look around, and then once you're connected, then you decide right on that spot who's leading, who's following, and the leader will go out and, you know, do what we talked about. Any other questions? All right, so now I wanted to show you a few specifics on this level and on 2 more levels on how to lead and follow. So this actually happened to me. It was me and my battle buddy, and we were right here. We were assaulting, and what happens is that he was coming out first. So he came out first, and he came around this corner, and just as he came around the corner, there was a Volk there. Now, they traded, but he was just downed. So what I'm doing, so they came around, he brought up his gun, shot, and was hit down and died. Now, as for me, what I was doing is I was running in quickly, but I wasn't exposing myself. So I came up to this spot, and I was just waiting there as he went around the corner, and then I saw him go down. Now, as soon as I saw him go down, I could hear, I'm going to point to I could hear exactly where that person had fired from. So I go around the corner and I check for either a dead body or an alive person. If it's a dead body, I don't worry about it. If it's a live person, I immediately shoot them. And because of Peeker's advantage, there's a high chance that A, the person's reloading because they just shot someone, or they are just kind of distracted and they don't know that you're running really fast. Especially for refragging, it's super important to be very quickly moving in there. So if you hear someone, if you hear your battle buddy die, you want to move around that corner and shoot that guy as quickly as possible, because as soon as they shoot, you know exactly where they are, but you're the more time you take to shoot them, the more time it's gonna where they can move off wherever they wanted.
So pre-fire?
Yeah, I would pre-fire because I'd know exactly where they are, especially since I just saw my friend just shoot a guy right here. So they're going to come around the corner, pre-fire, and they're dead. The other nice thing about battle buddies is that the battle buddy will move in. He gets shot, but he actually is only downed. And let's say they're both downed. I can immediately come in, kill that guy, heal him, and now we've taken out an entire person and only had someone have partial death. So now you've got 2 people and you've killed 1 person already. You guys have any? Or actually, I just want to show you exactly how I would go around this corner. So.
Wait, let me be the aggressor. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, sounds good. So we won't shoot because it's just going to cause more problems. But in this case, the first person would go around the corner and then, oh, where are you? So let's say, where are you, Vivian? There you go. So first person comes around this corner, and then we both trade right at this moment. And then the next person comes around.
Then immediately come out.
Yeah, and boom, 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 and they'd be dead. Now the key is there again. Usually on Volk, they're not running in tandems because you have to guard so much more area. So as soon as you take that person out, and now you've eliminated one of the defense points, you are good to go, and you can start doing more attacking. As for actual movement, when you're attacking, I usually like to keep. If you want to come around the corner, let's see. I like to keep, depending on the level, I like to keep this, like, if you're standing there, this amount of space, just because you can't get naded easily as much. And the other thing is that when you're moving into spots where you can't be seen by the enemy. So it's kind of watching where the person's eyes are. If I'm here and my battle buddy isn't moving, I'll actually turn around and watch from behind and listen with my ears to see if that person's moving off. And then once they decide to start moving, I'll turn around and keep going. Specifically when, like, let's say my battle buddy's looking forward, I'm going to come around this corner and check the places that he or she is not looking.
Hey, would the leader do that real fast, like go like this first and then move?
They can. I mean, they can come around here. The leader is doing whatever they feel like. They know that they're trying to make sure that your battle buddy comes with them, but they are really setting the pace for that. If my battle buddy just moves super straight, I can see his head his or her head not looking to that space. So I will check that as well. The other thing that's nice is that if the battle buddy moves this way, suddenly that person's distracted. You can come around and shoot them in the back, like. There's been multiple points where actually I can show you another setup. Where is it? Here. So, I mean, sometimes you can split off in certain areas. We'll have one person coming this way. So the leader's this way, and then because we've played together enough, I know that I can go around this way. And then what happens is that, let's say the Volk's right here. The Volk comes up, starts shooting at the Marine or the Marsoc, and the Marsoc goes around the corner, but then immediately I come around that other corner and shoot them in the side. And it's super hard to defend against that kind of push, right? Because this person might have a lot of defense, but if they aren't looking at me, they're going to get shot, and there's going to be no chance for a refrag. Does that make sense? Sweet.
It definitely takes playing a lot with your quote-unquote battle buddy to kind of get used to that.
Oh, for sure. Going through. I've got some other ones. Going through mid towards mid. What was that? Oh yeah. Okay. So let's say I want to assault through this spot. What I'll do is I'll have one person. The leader will go in here real fast, checking for angles and maybe get to this point. And the person behind will stay back here and check for flankers on either side. And then as soon as I hear that person moving up, or I check my tablet, I'm like, oh, okay, I know they're moving up, I can come in here and move to this side. Yeah. It's definitely the hardest thing to master in the game, especially since in comp lobbies, people are usually running and gunning quite a bit, and in league matches, everyone's panicking, so they don't do that as much. But once you get to that point, it's real good.
Everyone's panicking. You must have seen our games.
No, that's all games. Panicking. Assault and attack of 3 carpet taker.
Panic that much.
No, I don't think you panicked. You did really well. This is another example of over here by the stack here. So you 2 battle buddies are coming up. You got a lot of smokes out. One person goes around this side. Now, in this case, because you're pretty sure you've cleared the tunnel and no one's coming around. First person comes around here, starts causing distraction. They might get shot. Well, the follower actually comes around this side and then moves in and shoots anyone on this side. So the idea is that, okay, suddenly, let's say my leader goes down right here where you are, and I can hear the shots coming from there. They're already distracted. They've just shot someone. They feel good, and you can immediately come around and just kill them.
Nice.
So that's the idea of, like, the leader is probably going to die most of the time. So you want to give the leader someone that's fine with dying all the time, and also
Just kill someone, they feel good.
exactly. And that, like, also when you kill someone, usually I'm going my radio. I'm reloading. Well, I don't reload because I use the LMGs now, but you know, you kill someone, you go on your radio, so they're often a little bit distracted, and that's why Globo is so powerful. That when you're attacking Globo, they are almost always running in tandems, and because of that, they'll usually kill you when you're like checking in or being like, "Yeah, I killed a Globo. It's awesome." And you'll be dead.
Who are these Globo people that everyone's talking about?
You know who the Globo people are. Other thing is just like, yeah, like for example, if we were assaulting through here and my leader was going out there, I'd just stay here and wait. I'm listening for what happens. Okay, if someone goes down, go around the corner, you know where to shoot them. If they shoot someone, then you move up after that. You're making sure that the flank isn't happening, and good to go like that. Alrighty. You guys have any questions about battle buddying on cargo?
No. Well, do you do like is everyone rushing as Marsoc on both sides? Like if you're running a 2-3 or 2-2-1 or whatever?
It depends on who's the leader. So sometimes I think the most thing when you've got like if you've got two teams that are fast, or if you've got a team that's fast, the team should be moving at the same time. But especially for this level, once you're getting used to it, just whoever the leader is, keep up with them and be there to support them as they move in. So it really doesn't matter. You can go slow battle buddies, you can go fast battle buddies. The most important thing is to get in and shoot, or get in and make sure that you get refrags and you're supporting your buddies so that they don't get shot in the back. Because a lot of the run and gun people is like they're checking their backs, which means they can't move as fast. Because every time you check behind you, you're not moving as fast. Or as you see, the top end teams will move very fast and decisively because they trust each other to watch the other angles they're not looking at. Now we're going to continue on with the with just showing how to run tandems on various levels. So for Bart or Izzy that wasn't here, because they're trying to get a sweet team, we're just talking about leading and following with tandems. So the idea behind the tandems is that you have one person leading and sort of setting the pace, and the other person is covering their back. Specifically on this level, a lot of this level is getting up to a specific point, which is this line right here. By the way, I'm recording this, so if you guys would rather not set up nades, it'd be helpful. So there's the line that everyone's kind of getting up to this spot. And for example, if I was running in a tandem, I would have one person, the leader, coming up here, and maybe they're going over here, so I'm watching them. They get up here, and now they're watching through the bushes to get any picks. The other person would, so that this person doesn't have to worry about getting flanked, would come up and sit right here, because right here you can see through the edge of the, or through the hedge, and actually see if anyone's coming around the corner. If they do, boom, 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 dead, dead, dead. So yeah, that's one example of, you know, you've got a person up here. The other thing is that unless someone perfectly lands a nade right here, like let's say they know you're here and they throw a nade right here, this person's going to get downed, and then your friendly can come in there and immediately revive them. So, I mean, that's the other powerful thing about the tandems, is that you always have someone to come in and rescue you if you're getting trade or whatever, or getting in there. Another place for here is, let's say we are assaulting through lane 2. So we come in through lane 2. The first person, who's the leader, is coming up real fast, getting low and watching for this area. As a second person should come around here and watch this angle.
So Vivian, when he's saying the second one, watch the left flank, Wow,
Come
the
here.
first one's moving right.
Yeah, so the one person's watching this way.
Get over
And I'm
here.
coming up behind him.
Let's go over here. This person's having dog problems. Or an example is over here. They come up. This person's watching here. You have a straight line to make sure that there's no flankers, but you have to keep watching that, because if you look away for a second, someone come around there and completely devastate your team. But if you're sitting right here and watching this, you don't have any of this area covered. You don't have getting shot in the butt. So in this case, to prevent nades, probably have a person up here watching this area, or even looking through this spot as well, and making sure that no one's coming through. Alrighty. What's some other attacks? Alrighty. Same thing with coming through here. Oh, actually, yeah, okay. Yeah, same thing coming through here. Can you stop throwing smokes? It's really annoying. Thanks. Same thing coming through here. Maybe you've got a person here just covering this area. It's pretty hard to get shot in the head unless they're really good at firing. And you have the leader moving up through here and checking this area right there.
It's funny you always say that, because that's what I've always done on this map, is I yell at someone to watch that angle, and then I always come around this corner right here.
Yeah, exactly. So you already understand some of that, yeah. So as soon as you got covered there, they can't come around there. And then you can move up and boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Other things are just like assaulting this. So let's say the two people get up here. One person's pushing out here very quickly. I will either stand right here or maybe stand right here and then get low so you can't get shot in the head that easily, and just wait. Just wait for the person to come around. Because if they have a guy pushing up in this location, they might call you out because you come around. Oh, sorry, buddy. I just nuked that person so hard. So sorry, buddy. Come back. Rise up.
Are you talking about Markstock watching right here? Are you watching the flank?
Yeah, so I mean the idea is the leader is always, I hope, yeah, there we go. Sorry, man. So the Marstock comes around this corner. They're causing distractions here. As a Volk, I might be positioned, well, this is suicide, but I might be positioned here. I might be positioned like here. Suddenly the Volk, or the spawn house calls out a person in lane 1. I'm a super rushy kind of Volk. I run out around here. I come around this corner and I keep running in because I'm assuming I'm going to shoot this guy in the back. But my friend's right here, shoots around the corner, boom, 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 dead, dead, dead. Or if the person's right here, comes around the corner. Remember, if you're going around a corner and you don't expect someone to be there, your gun's going to be down, which means you have to bring it up pretty fast to shoot someone. If you're just sitting there waiting for them, you're just going to shoot them in the head and they're not going to be able to stop that. The same thing is if someone's coming around the corner to flank here, they're going to come around the corner not like this. They're not going to go boom. They're going to come around the corner like this and then get shot. Because remember, it takes about, half a second to bring your gun up. Alrighty. I mean, the last thing is that there's also, to assault this house, you can do it with tandems. You have the first person go up, and the first person goes around this corner and then pre-fires up here, and they're just looking to shoot that person. If they get down, the next person knows roughly where that guy is. So,
That's the place you're going to be getting hit from.
yeah, either there or in the thing, but if you lose it up with a grenade, you'll be good to go. Do you guys have any questions about the about tandems on this level?
No.
I know this house is kind of a bitch to get up in when the objective's there.
Yeah, it is like
Tandems is really what's going to do some favors.
exactly. You're really trying to move fast, especially with this. Is like if you can pre-fire at spots, you're going to have an advantage because they are not going to see your like they literally won't see you before you start shooting at them. Cool. All right, we are going to back out and go to the last level, which is Bazaar, and then we'll be done. All right. So continuing on, this is the level that is both very good for tandems. Actually, it's probably the one that's most important for tandems. And we're going to do a few approaches. So if we want to come down over here. So there is one of the objectives is in this hotel courtyard. I think you're all familiar with that. And one of the spawns is in the back here or over on the other side of the map. But this is a perfect example of running tandems. So the idea behind this is that if you spawn at the other side of the map, they're going to have a lot of time to set up. And so you're moving in as quickly as possible to try and get in there and cause problems. So specifically, if you spawn over at the other side, you're going to want to be in this area. You're going to want to go behind these walls because it offers more protection. So you'll have a leader, and really important in this level is to move as fast as possible while sort of having a mental map of where they could get to. So in this case, I would be running in here, and the person behind me would be a fair amount, probably like 10 to 20 meters behind me, but I'm moving as quickly as possible through these back areas because when I'm moving through this area, no one can see me. So I'm getting in here, just going as fast as possible, and this is really me setting the pace. If I am, let's say you guys just move, or just keep moving straight and then look back at me. If I'm the follower, I'm going to be coming in a little bit slower, following them definitely, but looking around corners, checking these things, looking back and seeing them move up. So you're checking that. The other options that you can come out, you can spread out a little bit here, come around this corner and check these angles, although this might get you killed. Then what will happen is that the person that's in lead will get up to this spot and stop. So then at this point, you're kind of, as a leader, you're stopping and waiting for the person to catch up. At this point, you also want to check, especially on the hotel objective right here, because sometimes some jerks will actually hide there. And I've come up into that and pew, pew, pew. Boom, boom, boom. You want to kill them because if they're able to cross over the street, it's a pretty devastating spot to be at, as Buxton would say. So then the next person, so the leader gets here, and now they stop. And now they're sort of checking their angles, checking to see the places where people are hiding, which is usually right there or back there. Keeping really still, checking in with their things. The person that is following will probably post up right here, because then they can check for any flanking and not be too exposed. Maybe post up right here. Just really tight angles to make sure no one comes up on my leader. Maybe back here, because you think about when you're in league matches, you're pardon me?
A flanker on this objective?
Yeah, I mean, they happen all the time, especially Fury. They love to flank. Try not to fire it because it throws off my mental talking. So then on this objective, just as an example, I'd probably smoke this this blue room, because that is often where someone will be sitting in, and then I can run across unencumbered to right here. The next, the tandem person would be running in here and kind of covering this angle, while the other person goes in and watches for here. Almost always there'll be someone there if they're trying to defend it, but the idea is that they're getting in close, and then the follower is coming in, probably rotating in here, checking followers, and now the leader is always keeping an eye of where is my person, what angles can someone come in and kill the guy that's in the front, and protect them like that. And then at this point, probably just go and assault in. Really important thing is watching where your leader is looking. So let's say I'm looking this, let's say I'm, as leader, I'm sitting here. Where would you guys, can you not do that? Where would you guys be looking if I was sitting here watching this angle?
Probably behind you watching these corners over here.
Perfect. And also maybe checking that area as well, because that's the area that I can get shot at from the back. If you have other people around the levels, we got an extra person. So if there's people that are, if you've got other people over there, there's a lower chance of it coming around. So basically, if you're here, you want to take up a defensive point that can't be seen from where your guy is. So maybe even just sitting in the shitter and just watching this angle right here, because if someone comes around that corner, I shoot him. Do you have any questions about sort of that tandem movement? I mean, the other part of this game is breaking the meta. So people have their usual spots that are the most effective, but if you sit in spots that people aren't used to, there's a higher chance that they're not going to see you there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we'll do another one. So on the other side, if we're going for the southeast objective, sometimes you can spawn, where is it? You can spawn over here, and you're trying to get to the southeast objective, and you'll go around the entire side of the map. So you throw some smokes out here, you get across here, and you're running through this area. And now as soon as you get to here, the enemy has probably got a fairly good good push on you. So as soon as you come around this corner, now you're going into tandem mode. So if I as a leader run into this area, as the follower, I want to run into a place that isn't exactly where the leader is, but can get a good different angle on them. So if I was a leader or a follower, I'd probably run in here, check this area. If my leader has cleared that, then I'm checking this to make sure no one comes up and flanks on them. So then you're coming through here. The other person, the leader, might be going through there. Now at this point, if I'm back here and the leader's moving through the main street, I want to check my pad and then move back with them. Again, going at spots where I can defend the person coming to me. Whee.
That's illegal.
Yeah, that's illegal. Don't go on the ledges. Soup's illegal. Same thing with this. I mean, the main thing a big part of the tandems is not moving at the same time once you're in like the danger zone. So if I'm back here, one person could be here because it's really hard to shoot this amount of space, especially if you see someone. You've got pretty clear shots for that, where the leader is moving out here and maybe moving along this right here. And they're going right there. Get in here, checking that, and then at that point that person would come around because the places that the leader has covered, like this area, are not shooting at him or her, and so that person can move up. Person gets in here, now they're right there, and now we've got to assault position where we're very close to the OBJ. The second person should be stationed up somewhere that they can prevent a nice flank. When we were playing a scrim, got flanked right in the butt. So this would be a good example of being right here. This is not a very usual position. You can't really be seen from any spots except for over there. And you can stand here, and if a flanker comes in because they know that someone's moved up there, you shoot them on the side. If you want to be a little more safer, you could also sit over here and just watch right there. Cool. You guys have any questions about that attack? Great. Let's see if there's another one. I'll do one more, and then we'll kind of have you guys play it a little bit, and I'll just give you critiques on that. All right, let's go. Where's that going? Oh yeah, West Valley. You guys can come back to the main street in the center. Over by the ice cream truck. So this is a fairly usual attack if we've got the bazaar attack going on. And what will happen is that maybe the leader will decide to go through this blue room. So the leader will go through this blue room, boom, 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 boom. They're coming around here. They're moving quite quickly. They're watching for those areas on the other side of the bazaar. As a follower, what I would do is I'd come up here and post up, probably right about here, just looking at those little areas across there. Because the leader is making so much more movement and noise and moving over here, there's a higher chance they're either going to get shot at or the other person will reveal their position. And at this point, as the support guy, I can just be right here. I've got a fairly good defensive position. People can't really see me that well. Let's say I see a guy start firing, I can just suppress them. I don't necessarily have to kill them, but I'm just going to cause them to panic or not, or look away or hide as my main person moves up. As this person moves through this thing, you don't want to keep up to them because you're pretty exposed if you're in this area. So once they get up to here and they secure this spot, maybe they're right here, they're listening quite a bit. Use this. They're listening around that corner, and then that's when the next person can move up. For example, if the person over there who's moving up gets shot from the spot, I can just go around and shoot them really fast. So you've got to, I mean, you can sometimes use your partner as bait, unintended bait, but they still get shot and dead, but at least you can get a refrag on them. When you're moving in through here, I would have one person back here, sort of just checking angles and making sure that no one comes in on their butt, and the next person moving in and doing their thing. Cool.
So if you're like slow behind somebody, you're the guy that's checked in the butt,
Yeah.
and your lead is gonna start taking off. Is there like a whistle to say, "Hey, I'm going now"? Or
Yeah.
verbal command? 'Cause I know you don't want to talk too much because there might be an enemy near you that can hear you.
Other thing about the leader is that they're not necessarily always moving as fast as possible. They should be having a mental model of where that person is behind them. Often I'll be checking my pad. If I see they've moved quite a bit out there, I know that that person's not going to get shot, because most people will shoot people as soon as they see them. So then I'll move up very quickly because I can. Because the leader is not always going to be moving at full speed, especially when they get to a spot where they're out here. They're going to be coming around this corner, checking these windows, checking this hallway, and then the other person has time to catch up. What was I going to say? The other thing that we can do, if you guys want to do it, is split into teams and just sort of do some little play movements. So maybe Lydia and Vivian can be one team because they're actually on a team, and Bart and John.
Lydia's still here.
She gone? Oh well. So yeah, why don't two of you guys try and move, like let's say just move around. You know that there's someone in this area, and don't shoot or anything, but just move around this corner. How would you do it?
Where are we starting?
Just start back here. Let's say we're back here. And the objective is the small bazaar. So who wants to be the lead?
I'll take it, whatever.
Do it. All right, so you're the lead. So, and then Vivian will be the follower. Yeah. Or support. Yeah. So then let's just check how, so you just move in at the pace that you want. Sounds good. Okay, and then pause. So this is perfect because what Vivian is doing right now is that she probably wants to have a little bit more cover or a little bit less exposed, but she's checking the correct angle. Your entire idea is to take out these people here, and Vivian's doing a good job of blocking your butt. So now I come around the corner. Let's just keep going. That's good. All right. And so Vivian, in this case, he's got most of the view there. You should be checking the corner that he really didn't check that much, which is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's moving up. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You're doing good.
Isn't it right here?
Hmm?
Is this the one with the objectives, like right?
Yeah, the objective's right there. So there's sometimes going to be a guy in the blue thing. Often there'll be people in these buildings right here. So let's keep going. So.
If I move up here, she's probably watching my right.
Yeah, exactly. So she's watching your right, and then she's probably going to move through this building, actually. So this is, again, when you turn into a fork. So now Vivian's coming through here. Let's say there is a guy standing, I think it's standing right here. And the guy is watching that corner, and then they shoot Vivian. You're going to immediately be able to come around and get a refrag, because you're going to know exactly, you can hear where I am. And then I'm dead. Vivian might be down, you go back and revive her, and then you guys are in good space as well. Bart or Izzy, would you like to do a practice? I got a practice for you over here. So this is a little bit more difficult. So we're moving down this side of the map. And Vivian, why don't you be lead this time?
For which objective?
We're going to that one right there. We're going to same objective, but this time we're moving down. And Bart, you're going to be the follower. So in this case, Bart is going to actually sit here and watch these two angles right here as Vivian moves up quite a bit. So Vivian, you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so just go like you're moving up that up the back. So yeah, you want to move once you kind of confirm that no one's in this building right here. You want to move along this wall as closely as possible and checking these corners and angles as you move past. And right now, Bart is actually going to be quite quite a far away because he's watching to make sure that no one charges up behind Vivian, to make sure no one pops around the corner. If someone pops their head out, and you can sort of see it in that little thing right there, you're going to provide suppression, and at that point Vivian's going to run towards it because there's no other way that she can not die. Then, as soon as Vivian gets up here, she's going to stop and wait for her teammate to come up. Because at this point, she's just watching this area. The teammates, like, no one's flanked around us at this point, so then she can move up quickly. Or Vivian and Bart, do you want to move around this side? So, yeah, stop there. So, Vivian, you be lead.
I'm sorry, I'm always down.
Oh, it's all good. That's part of you. If you want to move slow, that's totally fine.
I don't know which way you want me to go.
Well, just pretend you're assaulting that objective.
That objective? Oh.
Yeah, so just however you would do it. So in here, Bart, you're moving up at the same time as Vivian, so if they start firing on you, you're both going to get killed. But you want to be out of whatever range that they could hit you. You always want to be not exposed at all. Vivian's going to be the first one to die, and then if Vivian dies, you can get in there for the refrag, or just know exactly where they are.
Is the blue house a good forking area right here? Like,
Yeah,
right
I mean,
it seems like.
yeah, it's.
Thinking of where my team hides, and I'm.
Not a lot of people hide. Like, people will hide in here to guard the north, but it's pretty restricted because you can't see down the north street. So people will often be checking the two sides. For this, if I'm on this level, I'm going to check this angle here, and then as soon as I'm across, I'm going to check the back here, check these areas, and then my teammate can come across as well. And then once I'm getting to this spot, I'm pretty much charging in pretty quickly because for them to shoot me through this window is pretty hard unless they're sitting there, and very rarely people will be sitting in these buildings because they're so far away from the action, and then you're moving in as quickly as possible. And then this would be an example of a good split where I've got one guy coming in here. This is a very popular place for people to stay, and then the other person would go into the other side of the building and come out there. So then if I come out of here and I shoot someone that's lying down here, or they shoot me, or there's someone right there, my friend that's coming out right there can get refrags and cover my ass. Maybe I didn't see someone that was like lying down in that building, and then because I'm running and making noise, they're going to look over here and then they're going to get shot. Boom, boom, boom. And of course, the last thing that is fun to do is that if you are running in tandems and you see, like, let's say they get up here and it's like, holy shit, they're getting a cap, person's down on the knee with a cap, I will run out and I'll just start making noise. So I will run away from the objective and firing all over the place because now people are alerted, oh, I should go and shoot that guy, especially on lower level teams. Higher level teams won't take that bait, but they might look over at where I'm firing, giving my friend enough time to cap.